I wanted to think more on this, but my brain won't let me sleep. It got me up and said, you got to give the kids an extra day. I said in this video on Thursdays that I sent home a message to everyone. I included this video and I implored you, and in text, your parents, to try. Come on, we got to get through this. I'm not going to repeat what I said in here, so watch it if you haven't watched it. Here's the answer. Here's what I want to tell you. All throughout this quarter, I have told you the elements and principles of art and design were important. And for the past few weeks, I have told you that right here is where the class is. This is where your grade goes up. You need to produce imagery. At this point in time, we're running out of time. So I'm going to give you a couple tools. Number one, if you haven't looked up the elements and principles of art and design, you have to spend some time. You have to look at that. But right here, if you click on I know you're used to pods not having anything in the first one. The elements of art and the principles of design have something sitting there. Look, a video about the elements of art. And, is it any surprise that there's going to be a video here about the principles of design? Okay, so I want you watch those two videos. And then inside these, there's a separate video for each of these. There's not a separate video for each of the principles. But when you wrap your head around that and you understand the difference between shape and form, shape is 2D, form is 3D. There's your clue. When you understand that, then, and you don't have the skills to produce all this art in order to satisfy all these, I'll get to color theory in just a second, then that's where public domain imagery comes in. And if you haven't clicked on this quest, if you haven't done this quest, you're going to look at it and go, oh, I'm not doing all that. That's too much. This is where you can get your answers. You can get them straight from Unsplash. Skip Pexels for now. This is going to use whatever you want. Don't use Google Images. I want you to use the attribution and methods here. Shows you how to download things, shows you how to save them. I want you to do all that and then provide attribution for what you use. That lets us open up, in this case, it's to this photographer's page where I got that image right here. Only I didn't get it right here. As you do the quest, you'll understand that, there was a strategy I used. And I searched for something in particular. This is a clue. Listen, I searched for something in particular. Whoa, what if you search for line? Shape, form, space, value, color, texture. What if you search for those things and you knew what they meant in terms of the elements of art? Well, chances are you could find answers. You could find imagery that you could drop in, that you could download the appropriate size, and I talk about that here, and you could fill in all these blanks. Do you understand? It'll take you a few hours, but you can do it. Now, as far as color theory and harmonies go, I'm going to go down to Gravit Designer and show you in this Strategies and Techniques Part 1, the third video, using Adobe Color Harmonies. Now, I have linked you to color.adobe.com, and if I open up a new tab and start typing that, I go to color.adobe.com, and then it defaults to the color wheel. Now, look over here. What do you see? Analogous, monochromatic, triad, complement. You see the exact same things I'm asking for. And in that other mission, I show you how to look for this center one. See that little triangle there? I show you this and talk about how you can move this. Desaturate the colors. Hypersaturate. Yeah, that's too much. But you find your happy balance. You learn how to adjust things independent of one another or spread them out just a little bit. But with analogous, you can't go too far. You have to know what the color harmony is. What is analogous? 3 colors adjacent to one another. So you can't, that's no longer analogous. That's not an analogous color theme. So you've got all those there, and then check for accessibility. This is the colorblind. Boom. And no conflicts. These are colorblind safe. When there's a conflict, it'll let you know and it'll show you. And look, there's hex codes here, and I show you how to use those. But if all else fails, I can take a screenshot, just like you can take a screenshot and drag out something. And, well, here we have, this is not an answer to a color harmony, because I just told you that's not a color harmony. It's just 5 colors spread around the color wheel. But you could take a screenshot and then bring that in and supply those as answers to the color harmonies. Look, monochromatic, analogous, triad, the exact same things in the exact same order that you see them on color.adobe.com. So there's your answer. There's how you can fill in all 3 of these and raise your grade. You have to do this, though. You have to spend the time, and you can't just grab things and say, this is unity. Look, there's an ocean and a sunset. That's unity. That's not what unity is. You need to look that up. Yeah, there's a little bit of work involved, but I just gave you all the answers and a way to find them all. You just have to connect the dots and make sure that your examples are examples of the specific elements of art, principles of design, and then that your color harmonies show that you tried to make the colors harmonious. And to do that, you really need to look at the 3rd video there, because I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth, and I'm not going to repeat what I said there. So there you go. There's your answers a day early. And now maybe I can get back to sleep.